What a terrible way to die.
Sherlock Holmes, so hot right now.
He is. He's the new hotness right now.
I mean, he's a classic. He's gonna be around forever. It's like Tarzan, you know. It's like we'll get another one every decade.
We'll get him next time.
But yeah, Sherlock Holmes is super hot. The UK was like, we're gonna do a show, and then the US was like, for some reason, we decide we're gonna do a show too.
Yeah.
We're gonna make Watson a woman.
Elementary.
Yeah. So there's lots of Sherlock going on right now. A very prolific video game character. Especially on PC, through adventure games over the years. Something, that might not make headlines or your everyday gamer might not stop to think about. But you do.
I think more and more people, I think this game got a lot of attention compared to maybe previous Sherlock Holmes games.
Specifically, Crime and Punishment.
Yeah, Crimes and Punishment, Sherlock Holmes. And emphasis on the crimes and the punishment, because I sentenced a man to his death like 2 nights ago.
Any regrets?
None.
Wow.
It's really neat. I've read like the collected works of Sherlock Holmes, and I always thought that the Robert...
Wow.
Yeah, a rogue scholar. I always kind of thought that...
I'm out of my league, man.
I always kind of thought that the Robert Downey Jr. portrayal was a little too like Iron Holmes. He's a little too smarmy and
Action Holmes.
Yeah, Action Holmes. And Benedict Cumberbatch is a little too like Voldemort Holmes for me. So I think that this is a pretty accurate portrayal in terms of like the literary Sherlock Holmes. Have you ever had one of those teachers, Brandon, where like you're like, okay, they want you to solve a problem a certain way or do an assignment a certain way, and you're like, well, that's not necessarily how I think this should be done, or I agree with this, but I'm just going to do it the way that they want because like that's what they want me to do, and then I'll get an A, though it's not really what I think is right. That's how I felt starting to play this game, because I do play a lot of puzzle games, and when I come to one that starts making weird like deductions and things like that, and it asks you to make correlations between things that
L.A. Noire, great example. Of like, I guess I'll do it that way. It's kind of clear to me what's happening, but it's also clear that you want me to do something opposite that.
I felt that way when I first started it. It has you make deductions to solve cases and progress, and I was trying to like make these connections, and I was like, how are they making these connections? I don't see them whatsoever. And I felt that way where I'm like just trying to please someone that wants it done this way. But then as I continued playing and by the time I finished the first episode or story, because I think there are maybe 4 or 5 mysteries that you play through, and I believe there is an interweaving thread throughout all of them. I don't want to know too much because I don't want to spoil the story, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone watching. But by the end of it, I thought, okay, I see how this is. I see how they do want me to gather clues, gain more evidence, make these deductions that then lead me somewhere else, and there are all kinds of weird Sherlocky sort of tropes that they wedge in there. Like
what are Sherlocky tropes?
Well,
you can throw that out because you're so learned, but
yes. Anyway, so how in the movies it's like it's Robert Downey Jr. He can tell that this guy just came from the rainforest because he looks at the bottom of his boot and there's a rare kind of grain in this mesh in the soil that only comes
shoes
from
are
that.
Huge. Shoes are really big.
Shoes
actually, you can tell a lot of people by just the shoes.
And you do in the first episode of this Sherlock Holmes Crime and Punishments. You're comparing shoes in footprints, comparing size, and it is a big deal.
I believe in Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, like bat poo on his shoe was like the case cracker.
What is it? Guano.
Yeah. So it's tough when you have such an iconic, smart character, and you're trying to play that character in a game. You can't there's just one ending to this game, right? There's not you solve like the mystery and then it's over.
There are multiple mysteries, and you can solve them, and you come to different conclusions. And you can check your work essentially. Like you can submit your guess, and then you can choose not to look into it, or you can check against it. I did, and I did get what was supposed to be the right conclusion.
It's not like Heavy Rain where there's like so many different avenues you can take. Like there's no ending to the game where it turns out Sherlock Holmes was stupid. Like he's got to be a brainiac. He's got to solve it. And so that to me, it's kind of like making a Superman game. It's like where he has so many. He doesn't have a lot of limitations. You know, it's like he would be able to go in and solve it really quickly. So like the longer you take, the more it would technically go against the character. Whereas like the less powerful you are, the more limitations you have as Superman, the less it feels like like you're Superman.
I'm not really sure yet if you can like make a wrong assumption. Though I think it can be the kind of thing where, because it's crimes and punishment, you can choose like kind of how weighty the sentence you cast on someone is, that sort of thing.
Focusing on the punishing this time.
Yeah, I did focus on
how much punishing goes on in the novels? Like how?
Not much. That's not really his thing. But I guess the game needed to up the ante.
Have you played other Sherlock Holmes
no,
games in the past?
No, that's
your first one ever.
Yeah, I was really
wow.
looking, and I like these kind of games, so I was looking forward to it, and especially coming off horrible Nancy Drew experience that we had here. I did not enjoy that, but I am enjoying this and looking forward to playing more and seeing how the stories all interweave. And you are like, I think that as you continue through mysteries, you're gaining more abilities. In the first mystery, I had you have Sherlock vision. In the second mystery, I'm playing through, I've gained an imagination mode where I can imagine what happened when the.
Is it called imagination mode?
It's called something to that effect. There are points where it feels kind of silly, like running as Sherlock feels silly, because I'm just basically running all over crime scenes, and it feels really funny. And you can change. You have costumes that you can.
I was gonna say, is there a Batman skin? Can you?
No,
is there a counter system?
There should be. you can like don different costumes depending on what situation you're going in. Like if you're meeting with a suspect that doesn't know who you are, and
I think I did see that. Yeah, can he go undercover and like pretend to be someone?
Yeah. So in the first mystery,
because he does do that. He puts on little outfits and stuff and like disguises.
And you have a whole wardrobe full of silly outfits.
I did the international sign for mustache there.
I don't want to spoil it, but you do something in the first episode that made me laugh. I thought it was pretty ridiculous.
First episode spoilers? You want to avoid those?
Yeah, I don't know how many people have actually played this game yet, or maybe haven't, but might start to come around to it.
Is this just on PC? Are we going to get this on consoles?
No, I've been playing it on PS4.
Oh, awesome! Great.
Yeah, which is really nice because I do like using a controller more than a keyboard.
And is it meaty? How much time have you spent with Crimes and Punishment?
The first mystery, I guess, took me maybe like 2 to 3 hours. So maybe the whole thing will be, depending on how many mysteries, 10 hours.
Oh, okay. For you say you like these types of games? Like, does it feel in line with the content you get in other games?
Yeah, each kind of puzzle or mystery game has its own approach to how they want you solving the puzzle or the mystery. So kind of once you figure out what they expect from you, then it becomes a whole lot easier. Like I noticed playing the second episode as opposed to the first, I was like blowing through it, but yeah, it depends.
You just be like a master. You'll finally be Sherlock Holmes. You'll finally be at that level by the time you finish the game.
Yeah. Ian, I know Ian's waving at us like, keep going. I love Sherlock Holmes. I want to know more.
That just means that's what that sign means.
Yeah.
Is that he wants more. So give me more.
Yeah.
Give me more Sherlock Holmes, Elise.
Well,
what else?
There's a really cool like map. There's a really cool like casebook. You get to write all your cases in. No, there's none of that. There is, but I won't. We should end this. This is spiraling. Thanks for watching. Play Sherlock Holmes.